Howdy y'all, welcome back to Multar Aviation. In this video I'm going to be talking about aviation weather, and specifically I'm going to be talking about heat imbalances with latitude. I know, right? Exciting stuff. So I'm Dr. Andy Moulter. I'm a flight instructor, a CFI IIMEI. I'm also a former corporate pilot, and I'm a professor of aviation, where one of the classes I've taught is aviation weather. So you're getting college education for free here on YouTube. So make sure to like, subscribe, and whatever. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the description, in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer them. So in this video, we're talking about heat imbalance variations with latitude. In the last video, I spoke about heat imbalances in general. So if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. But in this video, we're talking about with the heat imbalance variations with latitude. So global imbalances in radiational heating not only occur vertically from the surface to the atmosphere, but it also happens horizontally with latitude. And so since the Earth is spherical, parallel beams of incoming solar radiation strike lower latitudes more directly than higher latitudes. And this is referred to as a solar zenith angle. At higher latitudes, the solar radiation is spread over larger areas, and so therefore it's less intense. And so here's a picture of that where, when looking at this I'll go ahead and give us a laser pointer here. So here on the left side, let's imagine there's the sun and we're getting the solar radiation directly from the sun. At this point, so we must be at like the fall or autumnal equinox, the fall equinox, where the equator is pointed directly at the sun. Well, so when that happens, so the sun is, giving it solar radiation and the earth receives it, that is a direct beam of energy, so heat, that's going towards the surface. And so you can see it's kind of confined, this amount of energy is confined to this amount of the earth's surface. But at higher latitudes, then we have the same amount of heat energy, but it's going to cover more surface area just because of the angle, the solar zenith angle that it strikes our surface. And so there, it's the same amount of heat energy, but it's spread out over a farther distance. So therefore, it's going to be less heat per, square mile, per square foot, whatever. So that's why it's going to be cooler at higher latitudes where there's less of a solar zenith angle than at the mid latitudes and less at the equator. Now, as we're going to watch in the next video, we're going to be talking about the seasons. That's where, the Earth's going to tilt towards the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, where, during the summer, the northern hemisphere tilts towards the sun, and the solar zenith angle is going to be closer to 0, and so therefore it gets hotter than the southern hemisphere. All right, so in the previous videos, we've talked about terrestrial radiation in addition to solar radiation. Well, terrestrial radiation also varies by latitude, but less so than the absorption of solar radiation. And that's because the emission decreases with an increasing latitude due to decreasing temperatures. And this, averaged over all the different latitudes, incoming solar radiation must equal outgoing terrestrial radiation. And if it didn't, well, if it was more solar radiation, then we would burn to death. If it was, more terrestrial radiation, we would freeze to death. So it just happens to work out perfectly, thank you God, so that we get the perfect amount of solar and terrestrial radiation to give us the livable environment that we live in. All right, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the seasons and diurnal temperature variation. So make sure you like and you subscribe so you can get notified when that video comes out. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. All right. And if you haven't seen the other videos, the other aviation weather videos, I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description below. So, all right, you take care. Bye.